the 4-year basis, are we not going to be multiplying that by 4?
No. It will reduce corruption.
How?
Now, don't forget that this is a yearly thing they do. And people are not sure of, how long they're going to. They want to, whatever they can get out right now.
But at least they have 4-year mandate, all of them.
They have 4-year mandate, but they are not sure whether they will stay within that 4 years because of the uncertainty, that affects the whole system. Okay, nobody is sure. Look at what happened in Rivers State. The governor wakes up and sacks all the commissioners. So
they were not elected. He is the one who.
Yeah, but again, don't forget that was how corruption crept into this country.
Some governors didn't have commissioners for several years.
Yes, but again, don't forget what Murtala Mohammed did in the 70s when he was the 6 months he stayed. He came and sacked everyone. Those who remained say, they have to also plan for their own retirement. They started demanding. If you come for this, they demand for 10%.
But the commissioners are not part of the civil service who are supposed to be key.
They are political appointees.
Yeah, so how do they affect the budget if there's going to be corruption?
No, you see, because one is that they are custodians of the budget. They implement the budget. Okay? They give out, the commissioners for states, for instance, and the ministers. They're the ones that are expected to implement the budget. I mean, the allocation given to them. Okay? Now, if they have that span of this, they know that they have a 4-year, project tied to projects.
Did you have this problem when we had the super perm sex at that time, when they have ministers?
No, okay. No, I wouldn't know that because whether we had this kind of problem then, okay, but there was less corruption then than we have today. The corruption that we have today started when Murtala Mohammed did what he did. That was when he came up to
now that we have got the ministers, we have got more corruption. So that's what you're saying.
Now that we have ministers, again, not that there are more corruption and because of the ministers. No, the people working there, the permanent secretaries, the directors, and all that. These are the people that actually the operational people. That the commissioner is just a political appointee. He comes and he goes, and whatever he can do, knowing that he doesn't know when, because they don't tell them how long they're going to stay. The governor might wake up in the morning and may not like your face. He say, "Oh boy, time to go."
So in fixing
you will leave without. I have a friend who was a commissioner in Edo State.
In fixing that, continuity is important. That's what you're saying.
That's why I say government is a continuum. There's need for continuity, so that any government coming in can continue from where the other person stopped. Now, Lagos State has been able to, do that to a certain extent. Okay, Anambra State between Obi and the current governor been able to do that to a certain extent. Okay, that's why there's some kind of improvement in these two states. But check out the other states. In Tinapa project, for instance, abandoned because the governor that took over from Donald Duke wanted his own pet, to be a legacy to leave. That's a major problem.
Talk about the China, because we have like 3 about that to wind up. The China Exim Bank project. I believe that's the one you were talking about.
Yeah.
But is it the same way across board? Because if they're funding a lot of our projects here, and then they're doing the same in some other African countries, there are reports that those other African countries insist and put certain clauses into theirs. But ours, we don't even have details of what exactly went on or what they're doing here.
This corruption. Let me give you an example. Jamaica. There's a recent report I read about Jamaica and how they're colonizing Jamaica. The Jamaican elite, political elite, for their selfish reason. Because in Africa and the black world especially, what they do is to use political power to acquire personal wealth. So these people now, Chinese, come because there are no, pardon my language, no scruples, no ethics. They just come, grab this political elite, pay them money, and then you can do whatever you want to do. And they promise, this government will promise them that they are going to create jobs. How are you going to create jobs when you bring your own people from China to do stuff? It's not just in Africa. In the Caribbean, they are doing the same. They have money. If you have over $3 trillion war chests as foreign reserve, you can afford to do all manner of things. You can borrow as much as you want. but you don't consider your nation. These people doing this, even in Nigeria here, they don't consider the nation. They consider themselves, what they can benefit. And that's what the challenge is. And that's what the Chinese are taking advantage of. The greed, that we have, to enrich ourselves.
Yeah, but about this particular project, we don't know to what extent or how are they bringing in their own people. Is it that Nigerians don't participate to a certain degree? We don't have all those
That's
details.
part of the...
Can we come to that conclusion?
That is part of the agreement. If we're giving you money, we must. Don't forget, whoever pays the piper dictates the tune.
Can we redeem ourselves in this?
Of course, by studying them, knowing any country you deal with, study the characteristics of that government, of the people. How do they operate? Then the Europeans, Americans, they also have some economic hitmen. They'll give you loan, so that you'll be highly indebted. They now demand and say, okay, we need this loan back, we need this money back. You don't have it.
So what would you advise the way forward?
Sorry.
The way forward is to to be more confident, to be assertive.
Right.
Our leaders are not confident, they are not assertive. We need to anchor
at this point.
Because nobody can develop your nation more than your people.
Thank you, Dr. Osenwanze. We're back in a moment. Join us again.